Hello everyone and welcome back to my YouTube channel. This is Nuzla Abdul Halim again, ready to report on the GBV cases across the world. So please ensure to subscribe, like, comment and share across. Okay, so everyone, for the highlights of today, I'd like us to look into some of the organizations that have been sharing confidential messages of the victims to some of the perpetrators of these particular victims in a particular country. And we'll also be looking into one of this is very unfortunate. We are having a rape festival in a particular country, so we're going to be looking into it and see how the suspects have gone so far. What the police have been taking as their own action from their side, and what the people are condemning, and how this case has been occurring. So just to begin with, if we look into Australia, we've had a case where, we have several organizations over there, several government funding services, including also the 1800 Respect. So, basically this 1800 Respect is the main focus of it is to offer mentorship sessions and offer some support services to some of the GBV to some of the GBV victims. So, it's a good organization that deals with combating GBV and also ensuring that the victims are actually undergoing the right sessions in order to get them back to their normal lives, forgetting about it. It's quite not easy to get rid of that trauma from the victims, but it is what they're trying to do. It's a very good thing. But it is quite unfortunate that we've had these kinds of organizations, the 1800 Respect, and also the other government funding services that deals with these mentorship sessions and ensuring that these people come back, they boost their self-esteem. Once their stories are shared to these people, it is alluded or recorded that these organizations end up sharing these stories, to the perpetrators of these victims. Quite unfortunate, no, isn't it? You cannot fathom the trauma that GBV victim has gone through. To an extent, the person gains the confidence to actually approach you and start explaining all the incidents or the tragic stories about GBV or rape or defilement or anything that has gone through her or him. It takes a lot of confidence for them to approach you and talk about all of that. And then now we're hearing that the people who are in charge of this mentorship, who are in charge of listening to these stories, end up sharing these kind of stories to the perpetrators. If sharing, I'm not saying this is also right, it is not right at all. Sharing it maybe to the officials or to the public figures, just for people to be able to create awareness on their stories, to understand better how these people feel, like just sharing to them. But then you end up not sharing to the public figures or to the activists over there who are advocating for the end of these GBV crimes. You end up sharing it to the perpetrators of that particular victim. How would the person feel about it? Isn't that a way of silencing all the GBV victims? Telling them, like, for sure, this is a direct message, by the way. You are telling the GBV victims to sit down and silence themselves, not talk about their own stories, not talk about their own justice, not fighting for their own justice. Isn't that just a way of saying it? So, I take it that way. And I think these kinds of organizations in Australia need to stop what they are doing. Anyways, moving forward, we will just leave alone the organization and ensure that the officials in that particular country look into this matter and ensure that the ones responsible for this have their charges or have actions taken towards them. Now, moving forward to Nigeria. It is quite unfortunate, very unfortunate actually, that we are having a rape festival ceremony. And if you look into how these officials or some of the police talk, you hear them saying that this festival was not regarded as rape. But if you look into most of the activists, I mean, there are two sides of the stories. We've got activists who say that this festival is alluded or regarded as a rape festival in Nigeria. And we've got the officials now from the police, from the Delta police station in Nigeria, that are saying this thing is not regarded as a rape festival. But let's look into it and then see whether we are going to fall into the category of the activist or the category of the police officials. Everyone, in Nigeria, we've got one festival where it is believed that mothers or the power couple that is about to be blessed with a child, they are normally in this festival, they are normally granted maybe some blessings from their elderly people. So we call this festival Aluedo Festival. I don't know how it is actually pronounced, but that is how it is written, Aluedo Festival. So in this festival, as of this month of this year, 2026 in March, we've seen some harassment happening to some of the women in that particular festival. Men were just simply harassing women. They were trying to defile them. They were trying to strip them off naked. You see, so these actions were done, and now the police had to intervene. They were forced to intervene and ensure that there is an arrest for all the suspects that have been doing such atrocities to these particular women. So if we look into this particular festival now, instead of it being featured as a festival where the childbearing mothers or the childbearing power couple is to be blessed with those children, it was now turned into a sexual harassment festival. So women were just chased down and they were stripped off naked. Others have been saying that some of them were raped in front of the public, in front of everyone, but others are refusing. So let me just look into what the police are talking of this. So, the police had to intervene into this because this matter became known worldwide. And, even right now, it's something that happens in Nigeria and we all know it, all thanks to social media, So what they say is, just like the way people are referring it as a rape festival, the police have refused to refer it as a particular festival. Because what they say is the victims that were harassed or assaulted, they did not report of any rape so far. Which could be true or could also not be because, for those who undergo rape, it takes time for them to actually confront their traumas and gain the confidence to actually go talk to the police, yet knowing that the law enforcement is kind of weak, So they could all be true or not true, you see. But all in all, we are not really seeking for validation. It's really embarrassing that such a thing, such sexual harassment, were done in public. And some of them are really applauding, making this as an applaudable matter, and others are now just condemning such actions. And when we look into now the police people, they've just regarded this as an unrape festival since they just said that because no one, according to them, was raped, and because since women did not show up, victims did not show up, filing that they have been raped or something, they just chose to regard it as that way and chose to continue. So anyways, let me not say that the police are not really doing any job over there. They've actually arrested 15 people who have been the prime suspects and have been not perceptibly seen as some of the perpetrators who carried out these kinds of malpractices to the women. So, not forgetting, as I was just checking into some of the news, we found out that some of these Nigerian polices were also part and parcel in raping some of those women. So if you look into it, and as much as we say that the law enforcement is weak, we also realize now the law enforcement is also among the perpetrators. So how do we do about this? It's quite a puzzle, because Nigeria now, we start with Nigeria, and then we have protests, and then it goes to another country. It never ends. How are we going to do about it? It's deeply alarming, if you look across the world now, we have people right now who are still perpetrators. Perpetrators are increasing day by day. GBV is going on, not only to the women, to also the men out there, right? Protests are being done. And now when people gather confidence, they go share their stories to some of the organizations, they tend to shout it, or expose these confidential messages or confidential podcasts or confidential stories of these GBV victims to the perpetrators themselves. What's in the world, man? Everything is just crazy out there. It's this level of insanity. We cannot digest this anymore. If we create awareness on this way, ensure protests are being done, ensuring that, putting pressure, instilling pressure to the public figures or to the public officials or to the police to actually do their work. If this sector works better, the other sector now collapses. Because look at this. Nigeria is having this rape case, rape festival thing. And then we have Australia now having organizations just leaking out confidential messages of some of the GBV victims to their perpetrators. It's tragic, and I think we should all raise awareness on this and ensure that these matters are addressed. Everybody, please. Creating awareness is the most essential thing right now. Because if the law enforcement is not going to work, we have to work in the favor of those who are not ready to speak for themselves. We are supposed to give them the power or the strength to actually speak for themselves. Anyways, everyone, that's it for today.